Hello everybody, it's Scott O'Mato back for another Botania setup. Now this one is based on a viewer challenge. He wants to produce the Terror Shatterer, the SS, which just takes a crazy amount of mana, like 1,000 something pools of mana. So this is just my initial pass at trying to create mana as fast as I possibly can. And I do want to improve it, as again, this is just a first pass, but it's worth showing because for most people that want to produce mana, very quickly, they're going to be very happy with this setup. So it's based upon my Entropinnyum setup, the single one, which I'll link the video in the description where I detail how it's all laid out, but it's based on that, except that I have repeated it 11 times. All right, I have 11 Entropinnyums, and I have 11 Elven Mana Spreaders with the velocity, potency, composite lenses on each one. Now these act a little strange, as we'll see when we do it. But each one is linked to the spreader above it, but they don't always pick that spreader to flow from. But I haven't really had explosions from it. The mana is flowing super, super fast. So once we get into that, if you have any insight about it, then it would be interesting to know why it does what it does. But otherwise, it's relatively the same setup. Again, it's 11 of these. I have the mana pool with a comparator coming out of it, a line that's 2 blocks away. This is a texture pack, so it's just redstone. There's just redstone lines. 2 blocks away, so that in compare mode, it's giving me 90%. That'll turn off the circuit here at 90%, which is just a repeater going into the timer from Dark Utilities. This is a non-purist approach. I'm using the timer from Dark Utilities because it can be controlled by redstone and it can send out redstone. So it's just makes things so much easier to run all the lines and everything. All right. So I've got it set to 200 ticks, which is 10 seconds. Then I have a master control lever here, which can disable the whole circuit, which is disabled now. Otherwise, I just have redstone lines going in the simplest manner possible to go into dispensers facing downward that have TNT inside of them, and then a repeater just boosts the signal up to 15 on each one of those, and then this is just red wool or yellow wool that everything's laying on. So I have a total of 11 dispensers all facing downward, 11 repeaters going into that. And then every once in a while, I'll have a repeater as needed to boost the signal for the length of the line, just to be sure that I'm getting my signal as I need. I probably don't need this one, but it's okay. Now, I could move the switch into here if I wanted to, but I just thought it looked clearer so we could see it here in the video. And hopefully the texture pack doesn't obscure things to where you can have some problems with it, and you'll see here in a moment why I use the texture pack as we blow stuff up. Let's get this thing running here. It is crazy. There we go. So that's 11 TNT exploding. Now, notice that it's just using 3 of them. All of the mana is flowing out of every single one of the Entropinnyums. The mana is flowing. It is going out. But it's not necessarily using the one above it. See, it's flowing. The mana is not in any of these flowers. So I'm not sure why it does that. It doesn't really matter as long as the mana flows, and boy does it flow fast. Look at that. We're already a quarter of the way in, maybe a third of the way. So it's going to take about 2 minutes to fill this pool. Now, I've already filled like 15 pools doing that. And, it doesn't take long at all. So I do have these 11 pools placed on top with simple sparks on them. And you can put a a spark over the top with the recessive augment, and it would feed into all these pools, and then you could stay here and check it. This is a setup where you're going to want to be near it, and I definitely recommend that you have the Benevolent Goddess charm in your bauble slot because it protects from block explosions. I cannot guarantee you there's not going to be block explosions from this because we are feeding 11 TNT at once. And I haven't had an explosion, but you could. So just be aware of that, and the Benevolent Goddess charm will prevent that. So you should be more than happy with filling a pool in 2 minutes, right? Except if you need to fill 1,000 pools, that's going to take 2,000 minutes, which is 100 Minecraft days. A Minecraft day is 20 minutes. In real time, that's what, 3 per hour of 20 minutes, 3 per hour. So divided by 1,000, you know, I don't know, man. It's like 3 days, 3.5 real world days. That's crazy, Vasky. That's crazy. But it's done. It filled the mana pool in that time. And our comparator disabled it. So, man, does that produce mana fast, guys. And it's relatively inexpensive with just the 11 Entropinnyums, which are not that bad. They take a Rune of Fire and a Rune of Wrath. So they're not that bad to produce overall. And then the Elven Mana Spreaders, obviously you have to have Alfheim. But they're really not too bad for what you're going to get. And then you want to produce this Velocity Potency Lens, which is the velocity and potency with the slime ball. Now, I did yellow tint one of them, and it didn't work at first, but it works now. So I may like to color tint all of these. But that's it for this setup. It's relatively simple. Simplified a great deal, I do have to say, by using this timer from Dark Utilities rather than a hovering hourglass. You guys can do what you want. And again, I respect people that do things for the purity of it and whatever. But I like to keep it simple and straightforward and adaptable and expandable. And that's how I like to play. So, you know, let me know in the comments what you think. If you like this video, please hit that like button. It makes such a big difference. And lets me know you know, how I'm doing. And I like to see your setups. If you use this in any of your setups, if you can improve on it, that would be really cool. I like to see that kind of stuff too. And please subscribe to this channel to help it grow and see more of these types of cross-mod, non-purist Botania setups, because I'm going to do several more that I have planned. And, you know, there's a lot of really good videos out there already for pure setups, like from Jancy and other people. So it's kind of been covered pretty well. I plan on doing some cross mod type of stuff that's not as common. So be sure to subscribe to the channel to get notifications and all that kind of good stuff. And let me know what you think. And again, this is just the first part of this setup. I'm going to continue to tweak it and try to improve it and get it faster and faster, because if we have to produce 1,000 mana pools, then we still got a long way to go. And share your ideas on how to do that. Anyway, this is Scottomato, and thanks so much for watching, guys, and have a great day. Bye-bye.